There's a lot of voiceover in this movie. I'm SirDinosaur from Planet X, and now it's time for a movie review. So we start off with a voiceover of a llama who's unhappy about being a llama. Apparently this llama used to be an emperor of the Incan Empire, so this Peruvian human guy named Cusco who was in charge of everybody. We see flashbacks of how Cusco is a huge jerk to everyone. He's really self-centered and everything is about his groove. There's this old guy who sounds like Piglet from Winnie the Pooh, and he accidentally stands there while Cusco is grooving around, and Cusco starts whining like, "He threw off my groove," and the guard throws the old guy out the window. Luckily he doesn't die though. He meets this nice villager guy named Pacha who's got a meeting with Cusco, and the old guy warns Pacha about throwing off the emperor's groove. Gotta say, Cusco is funny but not very likable yet. Cusco has an advisor named Llama who actually does all of the work of running the empire and stuff. On a whim, Cusco just looks at Llama, thinks, that lady is old, and he basically just fires her for being old. That's not nice. Then he meets with Pacha and talks about Pacha's beautiful little village, and Cusco is like, "Hey, so you know that beautiful village you live in, that's your home? Well, I'm going to destroy it so I can have a giant pool in a summer home called Cuscotopia." Man, this guy's a real jerk. So I kinda don't mind when Llama tries to kill him. Like, I should. Killing people is bad, but Cusco is a really bad emperor. Llama tells her meathead henchman Kronk to get some vials from her lab so she can make a poison to kill Cusco, but Kronk is a dummy and he gets the wrong one. So when Cusco drinks the poison drink, he doesn't die. He turns into a llama. Okay, cool, that explains it. So Kronk takes Cusco out of the city in a sack, looking really suspicious in the process. There are some mishaps, and Cusco ends up in Pacha's cart since Kronk doesn't have the heart to kill him. Kronk seems like a decent guy, honestly. He's just not very bright, and he needs a different employer who's not murdery like Llama. Pacha gets home to his family and they're all like adorable and stuff, and everything's cool until Cusco wakes up and lost a bit of his memory. He's like, "What the heck? Why am I a llama?" And Pacha's like, "I don't know." So Cusco thinks it's his fault. He tells Pacha to take him home, but Pacha says he's not going to help Cusco unless the emperor cancels his plans for Cuscotopia and stops trying to destroy Pacha's village. I think that's a sensible response. So Cusco's like, "Okay, bye," and goes off in the jungle alone despite Pacha's warnings. Cusco gets into trouble in the jungle like immediately, but Pacha saves him. So Cusco reluctantly decides to build Cuscotopia somewhere else in exchange for Pacha bringing him home. On the way, Cusco and Pacha argue, and Cusco tries to ditch Pacha on a bridge, but Pacha gets in trouble, so Cusco saves him. Pacha thinks this is encouraging. Turns out Cusco's not all bad. Meanwhile, Llama realizes that Kronk didn't actually kill Cusco and kind of lost him, so they go search for Cusco in the jungle. Cusco and Pacha have some food at a diner with Cusco in disguise as a human lady, but Llama and Kronk show up too. They sit at the table behind Pacha while Cusco is away, and Pacha overhears Llama's plan to kill Cusco. There's a goofy misunderstanding and the chef quits, but somebody's got to make the restaurant orders, so Kronk starts cooking and turns out he's pretty good at it. Hopefully Kronk can quit his job with Llama and start a new job at a restaurant instead. Pacha gets Cusco out of there and tells him how Llama and Kronk are there to kill him. Cusco doesn't believe Pacha though and gets some silly ideas about Pacha trying to sabotage him, so Cusco says, "Get out of here," and he flounces off. So of course he goes over towards Llama and Kronk and immediately overhears their evil plans. Now Cusco is all alone. He goes after Pacha but can't find him. Now we're all caught up with the scene at the start of the movie. But that night, Kronk puts it all together. He recognized Pacha at the restaurant, so now he and Llama are headed for the village. Cusco finds Pacha in a field full of llamas, and they reconcile, but when they go back to the village for supplies, they learn that Llama and Kronk showed up. Llama is at Pacha's house. Luckily, Pacha's wife is smart, so she and the kids distract Llama and Kronk for a bit to give Pacha and Cusco a head start. Some goofy shenanigans ensue, then Llama and Kronk chase Cusco and Pacha all over creation. Llama and Kronk somehow catch up with Cusco and Pacha at her lab, and she tells Kronk to kill Cusco, but he can't do it since murdering people is bad. So Llama is mean to Kronk, and Kronk turns on her. There's a lot of fighting and scuffling over which is the right vial for Cusco to take in order to become a human again. Eventually, Llama gets turned into a cat, but neither cat Llama nor llama Cusco can open the vial, so it falls, and Llama leaps after it and falls onto a giant trampoline. Cusco has a choice between saving the vial and saving Pacha, so he saves Pacha and they work together to get the vial back. It looks like Yzma's got it, but Kronk opens a door and makes the cat go splat and gets Cusco the vial. Cusco takes the potion, turns back into a human, and apologizes to all the people he was a jerk to at the beginning of the movie. Then Cusco keeps his promise to Pacha, promising to not build a giant summer home over Pacha's village, so instead he gets a little house near where Pacha and his family live. Also, Kronk becomes like a scout troop leader, and everyone is happy except Yzma, who's still a cat. Haha. This is a fun comedy with good messages about how you gotta be nice to the people who work for you. So I think this movie is good for kids.